This is the Making Waves Mindset Show with your hosts, Richard Biase
and Dave Moskowitz. Learn from our journey as we share the ups and downs
of being your own boss.
Welcome, everyone, to another fine recording of the Making Waves Mindset Show.
Yes, here we are. The show where you dream bigger, take action, and make waves.
Make waves.
Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for signing up. Thank you for likes, all the comments that we receive. Thank you very much for following us on our journey. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be doing this just for Richard and myself to listen to every day, but we're doing it so we can encourage people of like mind and build the Making Waves Mindset Show tribe and reach out to people who need a little push, maybe need a little advice, maybe are interested. Sorry, my lips don't work this well.
That's okay.
Interested in following our journey and learning about where we have done, some of our failures, some of our successes, and just listening to a podcast. As I always say, if you enjoy listening to it, please subscribe, share it with people. If you don't enjoy the episode, which you might not, maybe it's not there for you, maybe it's not interested, but if you don't like it, pass it to someone who might. I'm sure you know somebody who's thinking of leaving their 9-to-5 or thinking of changing up, and please share it along. We've had some great guests. We've had some great people on our show who have entered the entrepreneur world and who have entered into a different world outside of what they knew, shared their successes, shared their failures, shared information that is valuable. And we hope to continue doing that in year 2 of our show.
Absolutely. It's a great introduction, Dave. Well, today on the Making Waves Mindset Show, I came across something about dreaming bigger. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's our motto. That's our mantra. It's dreaming bigger, making waves, and taking action. That's the order. You have to think big.
Right.
And one of the big questions is, are you thinking big? Are you taking that opportunity to do something in your life? And are you dreaming of where you want to see yourself in the future? It's important. And I come across a podcast this week where dreaming bigger apparently is not appropriate. Dreaming bigger is not allowed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
Uh-oh. Whose feelings did we hurt again?
Well, I don't think it was us. I just think we just happen to be the people who have coined the term, right? Dream bigger, make waves, take action. And the premise of the author, the speaker on this particular topic was, you're setting people up for failure.
Why?
Dream bigger. Well, you want to be a NASA astronaut? Like, realistically, you're never going to do it.
Why?
Apparently, people just don't have that motivation to get there. They don't have that ability, the competencies to get to such a level. And I just kind of chuckled. I was like, that's a really small way of thinking.
Sure.
And I think, Dave, you can agree, as entrepreneurs, we have to dream bigger,
right,
in order to visualize, to see ourselves where we want to be. And if you want to be a NASA astronaut, then do it.
Yeah.
Then do it.
Do it.
But this individual's critique was that, but you're not realistically going to be an astronaut at NASA. Well, how do you know that if you're not dreaming bigger? How do you know? Because when you dream bigger, you start finding your network. You start finding different support mechanisms. You start realizing that there are people out there who you can have that knowledge base and reliance with.
Maybe you won't be an astronaut. Maybe you'll just go work for NASA.
Yeah. Right? Like,
I'm sure there's thousands of jobs, thousands of people who work for NASA that aren't astronauts. Maybe you just work for NASA.
100%. And part of that also has to do with people being told to dream bigger, or you share that with people. You're being then told that, no, you need to be realistic. And I think that's such a narrow-minded.
I think that's soul-crushing.
It's soul-crushing, especially as entrepreneurs. It's soul-crushing, 100%. It's horrible.
Never limit your beliefs. Never limit your thoughts. Never limit your ability to dream as big as possible.
Yeah.
You should never say to yourself, I'm only going to make $1 million this year. That's my biggest dream.
Yeah.
No. Dream 4 million.
Yeah.
Dream 5 million.
Yeah.
Dream 1 billion.
Yeah.
Heck, we just had in the States the biggest lottery ever. 1 point something billion dollar lottery, Mega Millions.
Crazy. Yep.
And one ticket won in Chicago, Illinois. If the people never dream bigger, that person or people, whoever went out and bought that ticket, would never have bought that ticket. And now that person is a multi-millionaire.
However, I think,
No,
with
I'm
that-
just,
I
but
know,
what
I
I
know,
guess
but
what I'm
true,
saying,
yeah.
what I'm saying is they had a dream, they dreamed bigger, so they went out and bought this ticket. If they said to themselves, there's no way I'm ever going to win. There's no way I'm ever going to make it. So why even purchase a ticket? Why even take the chance to buy a lottery ticket? That's my point. So if you say to yourself, I can't dream bigger, and I can't dream, and I can't think of something bigger, then
Yeah.
you're never going to take that chance, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. And I think that's just it, is taking that chance and understanding that there's a ripple effect that gets created from there. It's the example that Dave and I say in almost every recording. It's you in that boat making waves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you need that ripple in order to help you go. When you start to dream bigger, you start to find other like-minded people around you. And I think, to be honest, the 9 to 5 is that soul crushing that Dave talks about. A lot of people do not support your vision. They want you to be, let's be realistic here. It's not going to, the budgets and this and all this garbage comes into play. And it really just pushes you down to your aspirations. But when you're an entrepreneur, you need to dream bigger. It's your energy. You need to see where you want to take your company, where you want to take your family, where you want to take yourself, and what you want to accomplish. So hearing this discussed it just kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like,
I think that's
wow.
the most ridiculous thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
If you shouldn't dream big, then you literally would never have any athletes. You literally would not have any successful entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have anyone who is a billionaire, right? You wouldn't have the Jeff Bezos of the world. You wouldn't have the Elon Musks of the world. You wouldn't have Michael Jordans. You wouldn't have Shaquille O'Neal's, Tiger Woods. You wouldn't have any of them.
Yeah.
You're telling me those people didn't dream big?
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course they did. That's a ridiculous article as far as I'm concerned. I understand one aspect of them saying, yes, you have to be realistic in your aspirations, but realistic means I want to
taking
own
action step by step.
Yeah, exactly. Going step by step. I want to own a Ferrari. Okay, so realistically, what do I have to do to own the Ferrari? I can't go out tomorrow and mortgage my home and buy a Ferrari because that's not realistic.
Yeah.
I have to build up to it. Have you heard those stories about the people who trade up?
They trade up. No, Dave, fill me in.
Okay, so there was this. I've known 2 people on social media who have done it.
Okay.
So they basically say, I have something that's worthless, like a rock, and I'm going to trade up until I get something like a house. So they use the barter system. So they literally find people who will trade an item for an item until they continue down the road to get the item that they want. So a woman did it, and her goal was to obtain a house, and a guy did it, and his was to obtain a car, I think, or an RV or something like that. They both started with, one of them started with a paperclip. The woman, she started with a paperclip, and the guy started with a rock, literally a rock. So they dreamt bigger, right? They dreamt of, what can I get with this paperclip? What can I get with this rock? And they literally found people. I use that word. I shouldn't use that word too much. Literally, sound like a.
You sound like that.
Sound like a teenage girl. Literally, I literally did this. They actually found people on internet, on different sites, and they found people to trade. So the woman found someone to trade a paperclip for an item, which was then worth something, and that next item that they traded was worth something to someone else.
Yeah.
And they continued down this line, just trading things at no cost of their own. So not paying somebody. And eventually this woman, she traded somebody for a house and got a house.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if you don't dream bigger, that kind of stuff would never happen.
Yeah, apparently, right? I've heard of individuals, let's say you start a landscaping business. You start with one lawnmower gets you to making a little bit of income. You trade up to, I use the term trade, but that small step gets you to the lazy boy of lawnmowers, where you're
Right.
sitting in it, you're cruising, now you're doing farm fields, for example, right? Like, big acreages of grass. And then from there, now you're getting a trailer and hiring teams and more of these types of lawn cutting equipment. But that's part of the dreaming bigger aspect. And for Dave and I, we've been able to see the power of dreaming bigger. We have been able to take action in things that many people aren't, willing to do. I just was really taken back. I think for those of you out there who are either struggling or you are just trying to get into the entrepreneur space, you want to leave, you need to find people. This is going to be our value in the program today. You need to find people who appreciate dreaming bigger and who are taking steps like yourself or who are already ahead. It's like the mentorship. It's like finding that mentor that you can look up to and gain that energy. And Dave and I are always there. We're always there. If people want to reach out, have questions, we can do it. We can offer what we know. And if we don't have the answer, we'll direct you somewhere else or we'll try and find it for you.
Yeah.
But you need to find like-minded people. Start joining various meetups or community groups, or maybe it's the Making Waves Mindset Show. It's our tribe that's going to help get you to the next level to make it possible. To tie into the article and not to the article, it was a podcast host, but to tie into this particular host's message, I think this is part of the weakening that we're seeing in society to really maybe keep people down and why people are unwilling to push ahead and to take charge of their life. We're setting up these imaginary barriers in our brain that's preventing and ourselves from excelling. And it's really keeping us into this limitation direction.
Right.
You can't do that because you don't have this. You literally can do anything.
Of course.
And it goes back to our previous recordings where we always talk about the downs in real estate and how Dave and I continue to be resilient, and we're not going to stop at an injury. We're not going to stop at a potential client saying no, and we didn't make a sale. So for those of you, you got to find your right people. You got to find those other people who are in your wheelhouse, who understand the importance of what to do. Visualization has been huge. Dave and I have talked about this many times. You need to find the opportunity where you want to be, whether you do a vision board, whether you take that time in your meditation to truly visualize your success. These are things that are going to help you get there. Yep. And I think as entrepreneurs, if you're not dreaming bigger, then like, what are you doing every day in your business?
Yeah.
What are you doing every day if you want to leave the 9 to 5? You just want to leave to what? Sit at home and have a margarita on the beach? Like I think Joe Rogan even had said, or I think it was Jordan Peterson. Like that's not realistic.
Right.
So what is going to push you to get out and leave if you're not dreaming bigger? There has to be something that is pushing you to get there. And so I think it's a foolish response by this particular podcast host.
Yeah.
And it really goes against everything Dave and I have been doing the past year. Over 50 episodes of the show and guests and whatever want to share it is you have to dream bigger. You have to. There's nothing you can do if you want to be successful other than dreaming bigger. You have to have that direction and goal.
Yeah, but I would even further to say is don't let somebody tell you what you can or cannot do. Don't do it. You want to, let's dumb it down. You want to be fit and you're 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you can't. Because if let's say you said to yourself, you know what, I really want 6-pack abs.
Yep.
But I'm this body style, or I'm this much overweight, or I don't have the ability to purchase a gym membership, or blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, if you want something, go out and get it.
100%.
Go out and do it. There's a way to do it. There is a way to do it. You just got to find that way. And if anything that I would agree with what they're saying on that show, or I haven't even heard it, but is you got to be realistic in getting to those goals. And I hope that's what they meant by it. If they didn't, then don't don't be a soul crusher.
No, and that was the thing. I wanted to hear the author really truly explain what they were meaning by that, and that's what they were meaning.
Yeah.
It's just you're setting yourself up for failure. And I went back and I listened to it again because
why is failure a bad thing?
But this is just it.
They're making it sound like failure is a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure is a good thing because it's taught you a lesson and what not to do again and how to get over that failure. I guarantee, I can't even. It makes me sick to think that there's people out there pushing people down a road to not motivate them to do the best that they can do and not motivate them to dream big and get something that they really, really want. Like that, it makes me sick to think that people would push people down and not push people to do what they want to do in life, or even dream of what they want to do to a point where they're going to change their lives. What motivates you in life if you're not dreaming for something big?
And that's just it. Like I just wonder if the host was not understanding that connection. Were they coming from a point of their tremendous success and not realizing that they are where they are because of where they started, of dreaming bigger?
Right.
You and I, Dave, we dreamt of, we want to leave policing.
Yeah.
Okay. We started with a goal. Then from that goal, it's okay. Now I want to get to here. Now we're at this next stage in business. Now we're opening different companies. We're not the type of people to sit back, drive around in Ferraris and do nothing all day long. We are individuals who will always be a part of our business, supporting like-minded people and growing a community because we enjoy that. That's part of our dreaming bigger. We want to see that, but we took those actions and we broke them into smaller steps in order to get where we are.
Yeah. I want maybe we should name what that article or podcast was from and get our listeners to go listen to it and tell us their opinion. What do you guys think about this topic? What's your opinion? Are we being unrealistic in saying that you shouldn't dream big or you should dream big? Yeah. Give us your advice.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let's create that conversation. Let's create that stimulation, because you might be able to help out another listener or follower. You might be able to let Dave and I know, because I was dreaming bigger. That's your motto on the Making Waves Mindset show. Right. It's allowed me to escape. It's allowed me to move on. It's allowed me to now launch a business. And we have some great people coming up, and you're going to love what they have to say because they dreamt bigger. Every one of our guests dreamt of a bigger thing in life than what they were doing before. And that's why they're successful. You know, so anyways, that's what we wanted to share. That's what Dave, I heard it and I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. And just for our listeners, we're not always right. We're not always the ones with the answers. Yeah. But in this topic, I think we're bang on. Bang on.
Give us your opinion. So if you'd like to reach out to Dave, where can our listening and viewing audience?
I am on Instagram or LinkedIn. Please reach out to me. Also, just a side note, I got to pump my business for a second.
Yeah,
if you are looking for a job as a general manager in sales and membership sales, or someone who is membership sales and wants a good job, or if you know someone who's got a background in physio, massage therapy, stretching, yoga, Pilates, stuff like that, let them reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm hiring. Get to work for me, with me, grow the Stretch Lab business and franchise in Toronto. It's very exciting. Please reach out to me.
The first in Canada, folks. The first in Canada. Dave is setting a milestone and creating a trend here. So
please.
Yeah, hit up Dave. Find Dave on LinkedIn, everyone.
Yeah. And you?
You can find yours truly, Richard DiBiase, on Instagram and LinkedIn. And until our next episode, everyone, you need to dream bigger.
That's right.
Make waves and take action. We'll talk to you on our next episode.